Welcome to The Polished Mind, where subtle behaviors reveal powerful truths. Let's dive in. When a man finally lets go of the pressure to appear invincible and begins embracing emotional honesty, everything shifts. For years, many men bury their feelings, distancing themselves from their emotional core in an effort to appear strong. They put up walls, not realizing those same walls keep them from experiencing life in full. But the moment they give themselves permission to be vulnerable, they reclaim the parts of themselves they'd been taught to silence. This transformation is powerful, not because it makes them weak, but because it makes them whole. Vulnerability, far from being a flaw, becomes proof of true strength. These are 11 things men start saying when they stop trying to be tough and start becoming real. Number 1, I'm healing. Healing is never linear. It's messy, painful, and deeply personal. A man who has decided to step away from the stereotype of stoicism often begins by acknowledging the need to heal. According to spiritual coach Liliana Galvin, trauma is an unavoidable part of the human experience, but facing it with open vulnerability is what transforms pain into power. What matters the most is how we go about healing from emotional trauma and living wholeheartedly without letting traumatic events from our past define us. The healing journey begins the moment a man gives himself permission to feel deeply and keep going anyway. Number 2, I don't have to carry this all by myself. For generations, men have been conditioned to handle everything alone. But solitude isn't strength, it's often suffering in disguise. Brené Brown puts it plainly. For men, there's a really kind of singular, suffocating expectation, and that is, do not be perceived as weak. A man who embraces vulnerability starts to unlearn this toxic independence. He allows himself to be supported, to share his burdens, and to recognize that true courage often lies in asking for help. Number 3, I need help. Ronald Levant, former president of the American Psychological Association, coined the term normative male alexithymia, a condition where men struggle to name or understand their emotions. This emotional disconnect often leads them to avoid asking for help, fearing that it signals weakness. But when a man breaks through this emotional wall, he learns that needing help is not a failure, it's human, and it's brave. Leaning into support isn't less masculine, it's more real. Number 4, I can open up even though it's a risk. Vulnerability is a risk, and that's exactly what makes it meaningful. A man who stops hiding behind emotional armor learns to share his feelings, even if he might get hurt. The reward? Connection, authentic relationships, inner peace. As he opens up more, he discovers that softness doesn't make him fragile, it makes him free. Number 5, I accept all of my emotions. Acceptance isn't resignation, it's wisdom. When a man allows himself to feel anger, sadness, fear, and joy without judgment, he builds resilience from the inside out. Psychologist Nick Wignall says that emotionally intelligent people don't reject their feelings, they validate them. They know that every emotion, even the uncomfortable ones, deserves space. It's in this emotional allowance that healing happens, and it's this courage that sets the emotionally aware man apart. Number 6, I need some time to process this. Instead of shutting down or walking away in the heat of the moment, emotionally grounded men learn to pause. Saying, I need time to process this, becomes an act of emotional maturity, not avoidance. It's a sign of someone who is present, even when it's hard. Time to reflect allows space for clarity, which ultimately leads to better communication and deeper relationships. Number 7, I don't want to shut down, I just don't know what to say. Admitting confusion is vulnerability in action. It means being present even in discomfort. According to psychologist Shreyasi Debnath, we do not harm ourselves by being vulnerable or feeling things. We do so when we try to sabotage the natural process of feeling. When a man admits he's emotionally lost for words, it's not weakness, it's honesty. And that honesty becomes the starting point for real connection. Number 8. I'm proud of the man I'm becoming. This phrase marks transformation. It reflects not just progress but self-compassion. A man who once measured his worth by toughness now celebrates emotional growth. He's no longer ashamed of his sensitivity, instead, he honors it. He knows the path to becoming better isn't through hardness but through softness, humility, and love. Number 9, I'm working on it. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Vulnerable men don't pretend to have it all figured out. They show up, flaws and all. As Brené Brown puts it, vulnerability is courage. It's about the willingness to show up and be seen. This mindset allows space for healing, learning, and self-forgiveness. Number 10. I don't want to repeat old patterns. Recognizing emotional cycles and choosing to break them is a sign of immense inner strength. According to Dr. Amy Johnson, awareness is the first step to healing relational patterns. A man who says this phrase has likely spent time reflecting on past wounds and is now committed to creating healthier habits and stronger bonds. He's no longer living on autopilot, he's choosing growth. Number 11. I don't need to know all the answers. Therapist David Clow explains that masculinity is often tied to competence. Men are expected to fix problems, control outcomes, and lead with certainty. But the truth is, no one has all the answers, and that's okay. A man who can admit this has embraced humility. He leads with presence, not ego. He finds strength in simply being human. Final thoughts. When a man moves from emotional suppression to emotional expression, his entire world changes. Vulnerability isn't about being exposed, it's about being real. It's not about giving up strength, it's about redefining it. To every man who has begun the journey from hiding to healing, your softness is not a flaw, it's a gift. The world needs more of it. If you find this content powerful, please like, share, and subscribe so others can discover it too.